Season 8 of the Chi is about to hit harder than ever. And trust me, y'all are not ready for what's coming. Not going full savage and taking out Roselyn. Yeah, it's as brutal and shocking as it sounds. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Victor, Shad, and Nuck are all about to be tangled in a web of lies, betrayal, and straight-up street chaos that's going to leave us all shook. Old friends back in the mix, new threats rising, and secrets finally spilling. It's going to be wild. If you thought Season 7 finale was intense, buckle up. Because Season 8 Episode 1 is bringing non-stop action, heartbreak, and jaw-dropping moments from the jump. We're talking funerals that break your heart, alliances that shift in seconds, and Nuck proving that he's more dangerous than anyone thought. Let's break down exactly what's going down, who's in danger, and who might just come out on top in this explosive season premiere. Asterisk right after the chaos of Season 7 finale. Episode 1 of Season 8 picks up exactly where we left off, and y'all better believe things are tense from the jump. Victor and Shad find themselves in hot water again, caught by the cops with Alicia's blood on their hands, thrown in holding, and the streets buzzing with questions about what really happened. But don't trip, because y'all already know. They both got alibis coming. Tiff shows up with her baby to prove Victor was at the hospital, clearing him instantly. And Shad's new girl from the block party steps in to cover him too, making sure jail time isn't on their immediate schedule. But just as they get that small victory, the tension hits harder because the real killer is still on the loose, and everyone's nerves are about to get shredded. Tiff immediately suspects Nuck, since he was supposed to check Alicia's house. But after he did, she didn't get the update she needed, and now the doubt creeps in. Nuck, being Nuck, is already cooking up lies to save his skin, spinning a story about Alicia handling herself and leaving before he could intervene. Tiff ain't buying it entirely, but now there's a wedge of uncertainty that's perfect for the drama to explode. That same night, she wants Victor to either confront Nuck or follow him, setting up a street-level showdown of trust and deception. Meanwhile, one of the biggest emotional punches hits the fans. Jada's funeral. Y'all know Jada's been with us since day one, and the grief over her death is raw. Watching Darnell and Emmett crumble is going to hit like a brick. Almost the whole cast is there except Reg and his crew, keeping their distance but surprise. Cameos are guaranteed, and the emotional stakes couldn't be higher. Kevin's back for a brief moment, probably to see his niece and support Kesha, though a full return to the Shy seems unlikely given his LA grind. Alicia's funeral hits differently. There's barely anyone left from her family, and seeing Hannibal, Victor, Nuck, Shad, and Tiff show up, with maybe Sunny in a surprise cameo, brings a quiet tension to the screen. While funerals are going on, Victor catches Roselyn heading straight into danger. Set on avenging Alicia, and Nuck's security is tight, showing just how cold and ruthless he's become. That moment where Roselyn steps in only to get shot instantly by Nuck is going to leave every fan gasping. Bari, caught in the chaos, has to move the body, dragging Victor back into a familiar spot of being an unwilling accomplice. We're seeing the streets' law of survival in full effect: lies, loyalty, and fear clashing violently in ways that only the Chi can deliver. On another note, Toussaint is on Reg's trail again after the brief arrest in Season 7 finale, trying to connect the dots around Alicia's death and Reg's possible involvement. When she spots Candace with Alicia's coat, her mind immediately goes to Reg and Candace possibly robbing Alicia's spot. And now we're in full detective mode, watching Toussaint piece the puzzle together while the streets are tense and unpredictable. At the same time, Kesha uses Jada's gift money to make moves toward her dream homeschool, honoring Jada's memory while staying focused on making Chicago safer, showing the emotional weight of loss and motivation driving the next generation. Jake, one of the OGs, starts pushing his clothing hustle, trying to level up with Bari. Those street conflicts with Nuck delay their plans. Papa and Kenya are vibing strong, and we might even see early marriage talks starting, while Pastor Zeke and Sarah are quietly resolving their drama, showing that family life continues in the midst of chaos. Finally, Jamal and Dom wrap up couples therapy successfully. And while they might fade into the background for now, the street and family dynamics continue to ripple through Episode 1. Everything's connected. Every character has a reason to AIT, and the tension is relentless from start to finish. Episode 1 of Season 8 is setting the tone perfectly. Raw, emotional, action-packed, and fully the Chi in its element. After that explosive start to Season 8, Episode 1 of the Chi dives even deeper into the chaos. And trust me, y'all are going to feel every twist and turn as if you're right there in the streets. With Nuck proving how dangerous and unpredictable he's become, The tension in Chicago is practically tangible. Right after Roselyn gets taken out, everyone's on edge, especially Victor, who's forced to navigate the streets carefully, knowing Nuck is watching and that one wrong move could mean getting dragged into something way bigger than just a few bucks. Victor tails Barari, keeping his eyes on how Nuck's network operates, and it's clear that survival here isn't just about strength, it's about being smart, knowing when to act and when to stay silent. Shad, meanwhile, is juggling his own problems, still reeling from the aftermath of Alicia's death, and trying to keep his new relationship intact while dodging the law and staying clear of Nuck's wrath. It's a tightrope walk for him because every decision has consequences, and the slightest slip could put him directly in the crosshairs of the most dangerous man in Chicago. Tiff's focus on Nuck intensifies as she pieces together what really happened, going over every lie and inconsistency in his story, her gut screaming that he's hiding something major. But Nuck is slippery, and the way he manipulates the people around him, even those closest, adds another layer of tension because nobody can truly predict his next move. And that uncertainty makes every interaction feel like a ticking time bomb. On top of that, the funeral scenes from earlier aren't just emotional, they serve as a subtle chessboard for alliances and rivalries. While everyone is grieving, loyalties are being tested, and old grudges resurface quietly, like smoke, in the air that could explode at any second. Kevin, for instance, coming back for a brief visit, adds a subtle reminder of past tensions and successes, showing how life outside the streets can contrast sharply with the violence and betrayal on them. Kesha, focused on her dream school, isn't just honoring Jada's memory, she's also quietly learning how to navigate the complexities of the community, realizing that keeping her mission alive requires understanding both street politics and family dynamics. Meanwhile, Papa and Kenya's relationship starts to take more serious shape, their conversations hinting at a future together, but even their personal happiness is shadowed by the chaos that's brewing around them. The interplay of personal and street-level conflicts is what makes this episode so compelling. While some are grieving, some are plotting, and some are simply trying to survive, the streets never sleep, and every character is forced to make decisions under pressure. As Victor follows Bari, he notices the subtle moves of Nuck's crew, how they watch, how they protect, and how they respond to threats, which is a masterclass in tension building for the audience, because we know one slip could spark total disaster. Even small interactions, like a nod, a glance, or a casual conversation, carry weight here, and every gesture is loaded with potential consequences. The episode also brings back some of the older faces from the Shy, reminding fans of the history and evolution of this world, showing how the past continues to influence the present. Jake's clothing business, for instance, isn't just about money, it's about legacy, reputation, and the constant hustle needed to rise above the street's pressures. His partnership with Bari promises tension, excitement, and the inevitability of conflict with Nuck, because anyone stepping into his territory risks being caught in the crossfire. As the episode progresses, Toussaint continues her investigation, connecting dots around Alicia's death and Reg's possible role, bringing law enforcement into this street-level storm in a way that raises the stakes for everyone. Her observations about Candace wearing Alicia's coat spark another layer of intrigue, blending the emotional fallout from the funerals with the investigative suspense, making the audience question who can be trusted and what's coming next. Pastor Zeke and Sarah's quiet storyline offers a breather from the chaos, but also serves as a reminder that even those trying to lead normal lives are still influenced by the community's turbulence. Jamal and Dom's progress in therapy hints at stability, yet it's fragile and could be tested as street conflicts escalate. The brilliance of episode 1 is how it weaves these parallel storylines together: the street's action, the personal relationships, the law enforcement pursuit, and the lingering emotional impact from last season's tragedies into a single, cohesive narrative that keeps viewers glued. By the middle of the episode, the audience can feel the tension mounting. Nuck's ruthlessness, Victor's cautious navigation, Shad's delicate balance between love and survival, and Tiff's relentless pursuit of the truth all converge, creating a pressure cooker of suspense. Every decision carries weight, every action has consequences, and the streets of Chicago feel alive with unpredictability. This episode isn't just setting the stage for Season 8, it's delivering heart-stopping moments, emotional depth, and non-stop suspense that remind fans why the Chi has captured hearts since day one, with funerals, betrayals, close calls, and quiet victories. Episode 1 establishes the tone for what promises to be a season full of shocking twists, gut-wrenching emotion, and intense drama. the clever interweaving of past and present characters, street-level politics, personal ambitions, and emotional arcs ensures that fans stay invested in every moment. And the first episode leaves us hungry for more, eager to see how Victor, Shad, Nuck, and everyone else navigate the chaos that's only getting started. As the streets of Chicago simmer with tension in Season 8, Episode 1 of the Chaos starts to get even more layered, with every character facing high stakes that could explode at any moment. Right after the shocking moment where Nuck takes out Roselyn, the balance of power in the streets shifts dramatically, and you can feel it in every interaction. Victor is hyper-aware of this new reality. He knows Nuck isn't just ruthless. He's smart, and his network of loyal enforcers is tighter than ever. So, while Victor tries to navigate his way through this dangerous terrain, he also has to protect Shad and the people around him, all while staying one step ahead of law enforcement and Nuck's unpredictable moves. Shad, still recovering emotionally from Alicia's death and the legal scare that nearly landed him in jail, is constantly on edge. His new girlfriend, while a source of support, also brings in new variables, and every conversation, every street encounter carries the weight of possible betrayal or danger. Meanwhile, Tiff is zeroed in on Nuck, following every clue and analyzing every lie he's told. The tension between what she suspects and what she can prove is palpable. Nuck's lies are carefully crafted, manipulating everyone around him, including those who've known him the longest. The audience can feel the weight of every lie, and it's this uncertainty that keeps the suspense. No one knows who will be next in his crosshairs. Funerals from earlier in the episode continue to cast a shadow, serving as both emotional checkpoints and subtle reminders that death and danger are never far from these streets. Jada's funeral, especially, reminds everyone of the fragility of life and the ripple effects of loss. And seeing Darnell and Emmett struggle with grief humanizes the violence, making it more than just street drama, it's heartbreak layered on action. Kevin's return, though brief, adds complexity, showing how past friendships and family ties intersect with current conflicts. While Kesha's determination to honor Jada's memory by advancing her dream, school shows that hope and ambition can persist even in the darkest times. Jake's clothing hustle, tied closely to Bari, begins to illustrate the complicated balance between legitimate work and street politics. Every business move they make is shadowed by Nuck's potential interference, reminding the audience that nothing in this world exists in isolation. Papa and Kenya's budding romance continues to develop, offering a slice of personal stability. Yet even their interactions are tinged with tension, because danger could strike at any moment. And their happiness is a fragile thing in this storm. Pastor Zeke's storyline provides a brief emotional pause, yet it's clear that even domestic stability cannot shield anyone from the broader chaos. Jamal and Dom's therapy success signals personal growth and relationship repair, but it also sets up contrast against the street-level conflict, highlighting how interconnected personal and communal stakes are in this show. The tension ramps up further when Victor follows Bari and observes Nuck's moves, noticing how organized and well-protected he has become. Nuck's men aren't just bodyguards, they're eyes and ears in the street, and every subtle action he takes, every instruction he gives, makes the threat feel omnipresent. This creates a constant undercurrent of suspense because Victor, Shad, and the others are constantly aware that one wrong step could land them in a situation they can't get out of. 2 Cents' investigation into Alicia's death continues to add a law enforcement dimension that intersects with the street chaos. When she sees Candace with Alicia's coat, she immediately pieces together a possible link to Reg and the robbery scenario, which heightens the tension for everyone involved. Each new clue she uncovers threatens to disrupt the careful balance Nuck and his associates have been maintaining. This ongoing detective thread is layered perfectly with the street action, showing that consequences for violent actions are not isolated. They ripple outward, affecting friends, family, and even innocent bystanders. As the episode moves on, we see subtle power plays and manipulations unfold among secondary characters. Even those who aren't directly involved in Nuck's immediate conflict are affected. The OGs like Jake, who are focused on building businesses, are constantly reminded that the streets can intervene in even the most legitimate ventures. Their ambitions, while personal, cannot escape the influence of chaos that surrounds them. And this tension keeps every scene charged with suspense. Victor, meanwhile, is not just tailing Bari. He's also mentally mapping Nuck's moves, trying to predict the next violent act before it happens. Every glance, every whisper, every hidden gesture on the streets feels like it could explode into violence. and the audience feels that pressure constantly. Tiff's relentless pursuit of the truth adds another layer to this, as her determination and intuition create a counterbalance to Nuck's manipulation. It's a tense cat-and-mouse game, with high stakes that extend far beyond any single character. As the episode progresses, the funeral events continue to linger in the background, influencing decisions and emotions. Seeing the cast navigate grief while simultaneously plotting, lying, and surviving creates an intricate web of interpersonal tension. Small moments, like a knowing look between characters or a whispered plan, carry enormous weight because the audience knows how quickly everything can unravel. Meanwhile, Victor and Shad's ongoing struggle to survive amidst the escalating danger shows just how fragile loyalty and trust are in this world. Every action they take is calculated, but even the best-laid plans can be upended by unpredictability. Toussaint's investigation also ramps up pressure on multiple fronts, forcing characters to think several moves ahead. The convergence of street-level violence, personal ambition, emotional trauma, and law enforcement pursuit makes Episode 1 a masterclass in tension, delivering non-stop suspense from start to finish. Every plotline intersects with another, keeping viewers on edge and fully engaged. The writers expertly balance action, emotional depth, and suspenseful pacing, ensuring that every character, from the OGs to the newcomers, feels integral to the story. Episode 1 establishes the stakes for Season 8 in a way that is both thrilling and deeply engaging, making it clear that no one is safe, nothing is predictable, and the streets of Chicago remain as dangerous and unpredictable as ever. By the end of the episode, the audience is left with a sense of foreboding and anticipation, knowing that Nuck's lethal presence, combined with street politics, personnel vendettas, and unresolved mysteries, will continue to dominate the season. This section of the story shows that the Chi isn't just about action or drama, it's about the complex interplay of community, loyalty, ambition, and survival, all set against the backdrop of a city that feels alive, dangerous, and emotionally charged. As Season 8, Episode 1 of The Chi unfolds further, the tension skyrockets and the streets of Chicago feel alive with danger, anticipation, and betrayal. After Nuck's shocking move against Roselyn, everyone in the community is on high alert. Victor's mind is spinning non-stop, thinking about how to navigate these deadly streets while keeping himself, Shad, and the people he cares about safe. He knows Nuck is ruthless, calculated, and has no problem using fear to control anyone in his path. Victor tails Bari, keeping a careful eye on the crew, knowing that even the smallest misstep could trigger a deadly chain reaction. Every street, corner, every glance, and every whispered conversation carries weight because one wrong move could put someone directly in Nuck's crosshairs. Shad, on the other hand, is balancing his grief over Alicia's death with the need to maintain control over his own life. His new girlfriend offers support, but her presence also adds pressure. He can't risk her getting caught in the crossfire. Meanwhile, Tiff is digging even deeper into Nuck's lies, trying to piece together the truth about what really happened. Her intuition tells her Nuck is hiding much more than anyone realizes, and the tension between her growing suspicion and the limited evidence creates a suspenseful push and pull that drives the narrative forward. The funeral scenes from earlier in the episode continue to weigh on everyone's minds. Jada's funeral, especially, serves as an emotional anchor, reminding viewers of the stakes involved and the fragility of life in this world. Watching Darnell and Emmett struggle to process their grief humanizes the chaos on the streets, adding layers of emotion to the story. Kevin's brief return for a cameo adds complexity as well, showing that past relationships and family obligations intersect with current street-level conflicts in ways that complicate every character's choices. Kesha, inspired by Jada's memory, begins working toward her dream school, demonstrating that hope and ambition can survive even in the darkest environments. But her progress is shadowed by the tension around her, showing that even the most personal and noble goals cannot escape the dangerous web of street politics. Jake's hustle continues, trying to push his clothing business forward while navigating the constant risk posed by Nuck and his enforcers. Every step Jake and Bari take is under scrutiny, and every small victory could quickly turn into disaster. If Nuck or someone in his network takes offense, Papa and Kenya's relationship begins to take more concrete shape, with discussions about their future together. But even these personal moments are tinged with tension because danger could strike at any time. Pastor Zeke's storyline offers a breather from the relentless street drama. Yet it's clear that even domestic stability cannot fully shield anyone from the turmoil surrounding them. Jamal and Dom's therapy success adds another layer of personal growth and stability, but the streets remain unpredictable, and their happiness is fragile, ready to be tested by external chaos. As Victor and Barry move through the city, the audience is shown the intricate network of Nuck's influence. Nuck's crew isn't just a group of bodyguards, they are eyes and ears on every street, capable of acting at a moment's notice. The tension is omnipresent because Victor knows that one wrong action, one overlooked clue, or one lapse in judgment could have fatal consequences. Toussaint's investigation into Alicia's death continues to intersect with the street drama, adding a law enforcement dimension that raises the stakes even higher. When she spots Candace wearing Alicia's coat, her mind immediately jumps to Reg and the robbery theory, creating suspense and uncertainty for both the characters and the audience. Every discovery Toussaint makes threatens to disrupt Nuck's careful control of the streets and puts everyone connected to him at risk. The narrative also weaves in subtle reminders of past events and character histories, reinforcing how deeply the past affects the present. The OGs from the Shy, like Jake and Papa, are forced to navigate both personal and communal pressures, showing that ambition, loyalty, and survival are constantly intertwined. Every decision these characters make is calculated, but the ever-present threat of Nuck's retaliation keeps the audience on edge. The first episode also emphasizes the psychological tension between characters. Tiff's growing suspicion of Nuck, Victor's cautious surveillance, Shad's emotional instability, and Barry's reluctant involvement in street-level maneuvering create a web of suspense that is both thrilling and emotionally charged. Funerals, grief, and personal loss are threaded through the narrative to remind viewers that the stakes extend beyond simple violence. This is a community where every death, every betrayal, and every decision resonates deeply, affecting multiple characters simultaneously. Meanwhile, the personal stories continue to develop in ways that add depth and contrast to the street-level drama. Kesha's progress with her school, Pastor Zeke's domestic adjustments, Papa and Kenya's growing connection, and Jamal and Dom's restored relationship all serve as emotional counterpoints to the chaos around them, highlighting the complex interplay between personal growth and environmental pressure. The tension escalates further when Victor notices Barry's moves, analyzing Nuck's security patterns and anticipating potential threats. Every gesture, every movement, every whispered instruction carries danger, and the audience can feel that. Suspense mounting with every passing moment, Toussaint's investigation adds a parallel layer of intrigue, combining procedural tension with street-level suspense to create a multidimensional narrative that is as emotionally engaging as it is thrilling. As the episode progresses, the interplay of street-level violence, personal ambition, emotional trauma, and investigative pressure creates a relentless pacing that keeps the audience fully engaged. Every character, from the OGs to newer faces, has stakes in the outcome, and the narrative ensures that nothing feels predictable. By the midpoint and beyond, viewers are fully immersed in the high-stakes world of Chicago, where loyalty is constantly tested, trust is scarce, and survival depends on quick thinking, strategy, and sometimes sheer luck. The episode delivers a series of interwoven conflicts that escalate tension continuously, making it clear that Nuck's lethal presence, combined with street politics, personal ambitions, and unresolved mysteries, will dominate the season. Viewers are left with a sense of foreboding, knowing that no one is safe. Every action has consequences, and the city itself feels like a living, breathing entity full of danger, emotion, and suspense. The Cheese Season 8 Episode 1 uses every scene, every conversation, and every glance to reinforce the stakes, making sure that viewers understand how fragile and volatile life is in this world. The episode is a masterclass in tension, blending action, suspense, and emotional resonance to create a narrative that grips the audience from start to finish. By the end, fans are left thinking about what's coming next, eager to see how Victor, Nook, and the rest of the cast will navigate the web of betrayal, revenge, and survival that has only just begun.